Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring hopes. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you guys in this fine Sunday, July 13th morning, right? Still morning, depending on what side of the world you guys are at. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, guys. I'm like still organizing my little area and whatnot. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to everybody. Look at all those rabbits in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. All right. I see the people here in the morning, here in the chat. Welcome. What are you guys drinking on? I got my iced coffee, of course. So I have to understand and know like what's going on with you guys. Last night, literally the internet was going like somewhere else. I don't know if you guys like understood the craziness that was going on last night. I know it's always Moni's like, it's always a beautiful day when the MAGAs have their undies in a bunch. Lord, come on now, Moni. Listen, people are waking up and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I am seeing hat burn-ins. People are burning their hats. People are denouncing. Like the Simpsons are making predictions, which I'm like, I've never paid attention to a prediction that a cartoon show has made. If you know what I mean. Like, this is the time where I actually do want to pay attention because you know how they say, I was like, let me get my tinfoil hat for this one because they might be onto something on this one. Now, you know how they say that the Simpsons will make like the craziest predictions and look, they predicted this and that and the other, and then it comes true, and then Lord have mercy, we're like, scratching our heads about how that happened. I'm here for it. I'm happy to watch and see if this is actually going to come true. I heard that this was going to be a thing. Yes, listen, we have gone through some things here in our country, right? Like we've gone through burning books, burning bras. Now we're burning hats. Who would have known? We're burning books, bras, and hats. What else are we? People be burning flags too, but we're not burning any flags, right? Because that's clearly not okay. But people are burning books, bras, and hats. Lord have mercy. I'm here for it. I cannot believe it. You said, in my opinion, they're trying to entice us to arms. Really? Lord have mercy. There are some people who wonder, like, what is this all about? Is this all theatrics? What's going on? I don't think so, y'all. I'm really here. LA burned down. There was fires. Remember how this year started? It feels like such a long time ago because there's just been so much in between in the last 6 months. January started with the LA fires. Everything was burning. Everything was burning, right? Then there was that. Before that, we had the Luigi Mangione situation, right? LA fires. Then I don't know what else happened in between because everything is a blur after the Diddy trial. I'm gonna be honest with you, everything's a blur. Like my mind is still on the Diddy trial, and I'm trying. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like I'm like, okay, I gotta talk about something else because the Diddy stuff. It's like the girls are fighting. I don't want to fight with anybody because it's just too much. I don't want anybody pulling at my hair or throwing me down the ground over like that's too much. I just want to get to what's going on right now. You said, "Oh my goodness, is this the year 2025?" Oh, the drones. Don't forget the drones. Then there was that weird shit in the sky. What is it, like the fog or something like that? Where people are talking about some unexplained fog, some hills have eyes type of fog that was going on in the year. There was that. That was that. Uh and then of course you have the whole bombing situation, which either you agree or you don't. There's that. There's a lot of stuff that's been thrown at in the last 6 months that I wasn't really ready for. Oh yeah, and don't forget the anti-ICE riots. And listen, I'm here. There was a federal judge who I'm glad. He's like, no, you're not going to be racially profiling people and targeting people just because they speak Spanish out of a heavy populated, community that speaks Spanish. Like, get out of here. You hear me? That's like me going to, somewhere. What if I get my nails done? And I'm like, oh, they're only speaking a certain language. Therefore, I'm going to call, ICE because I feel like there might be some illegals here. Like, what? What are we doing here? That's crazy. We don't do that. I'm not down for that. That's crazy because I've been profiled before, and I mean, I get profiled all the time. I'm not down for that. So I'm glad that that got thrown out. Um but listen, no he doesn't. No he doesn't. And he doesn't listen to anybody. I think that's the biggest downfall with this guy is that he doesn't listen. He's got advisors. I don't know what the does he listen to the advisors? Are the advisors are they kind of like we didn't tell him to do that. We advised him, but we didn't tell him to do that. That wasn't part of our recommendation in the advisement. We didn't say do that. That's what it almost feels like. I have to kind of wonder, like, does he listen to the advisors? You said his advisors are criminals. Well, shit, there you go. That says it all. That says it all. Ay, Dios mío. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button because we got a lot to get started with. But before we really get started, y'all, I want to start on something that's been talked about. I don't feel like I'm definitely not a new person talking about this. But before we really get into the situation with Trump, and I promise you, we have a lot to show on that. I gotta talk about this real quick because you guys know Jay-Z. There has been a guy by the name of Rymir. I think his name is it Satterthwaite? I always say his last name wrong. But Rymir has been doing a lot of interviews. He's had historic lawsuits regarding Jay-Z. Basically claiming to be the child Jay-Z's child, unrecognized child. And let me just say this. I've seen various paternity stories, like the lady that says that she's Madeline McCann, and we know for a fact that she's not, right? After she even took a DNA test, this guy has been wanting to do a DNA test. Jay-Z has been like dodging him for quite some time, right? Let me say this. I actually think that Jay-Z should take not a lie detector test. Well, that and a paternity test. This guy looks exactly like Jay-Z. I don't know how you it's like what? It's like Jay-Z birthed this guy. Now the problem is this, guys. The problem is this is that his mom was a minor and Jay-Z, I believe, was of adult age when they got together. So there's a little bit of a concern, I think, that Jay-Z would have about acknowledging that that is his son. So shout out to Diddy Docket, a picture that some might want everyone to forget about. So this is Wanda. This was his mom, Rymir. Rymir's mom below. Jay-Z was just a teen when he was conceived. Okay. Was just a teen when he was conceived. So I think Jay-Z's like, I don't want these kinds of problems. I don't want these kinds of problems. I don't. What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, if he doesn't want, he says Jay-Z shuts down paternity claims, calls Rymir's allegations fabricated. I mean, take a paternity test and put it to bed. In the newly filed court documents obtained by Us Weekly, Jay-Z is asking a federal judge to step in and shut down a lawsuit filed by the 31-year-old. See if I can move this camera a little bit. Here it is. Rymir, who continues to allege that the hip-hop mogul is his biological father. He looks exactly like him. Rymir, who filed the latest complaint in May, accuses Jay-Z or Jay of knowingly avoiding a paternity test and using his celebrity status to silence him. The lawsuit also alleges fraud, manipulation of the legal system, and a pattern of intimidation. Jay-Z's legal claims flatly denied. In response, the Rock Nation founder, born Sean Carter, called the lawsuit the latest chapter in what he describes as the decades-long harassment campaign carried out by Rymir. His lawyers noted that similar allegations have already been addressed and rejected by multiple courts, and that the continued efforts to push the narrative have resulted in contempt of orders. Jay-Z also told the court he only learned of the latest filing on June 3rd and requested additional time to formally respond. His legal team claims an attempt to contact Rymir's guardian to coordinate was met with hostility, stating that the phone call ended with her hanging up. What do y'all think? Do the paternity test, Jay-Z. Do the paternity test. Get it done. Should he be pushed to do the paternity test? And then if it's his son, what should he do? Let me do a little poll. Should Jay-Z just do a paternity test? Yes or no? Just take the damn test. Take the test. Reba says take the test. Just do the test and get it over with. Take the DNA test. Okay. Put it to bed. Let me know. It's been a court order in the past and he refused, says Foxy. Okay. So he should just get it done. I don't see Rymir wanting money. Take the test, write a check, get an NDA, and call it done. Gemini's like, listen, just do what you do. Get the DNA test and get it done. Take the test. Let everyone get on with the life. Lord have mercy. Hold up. Y'all are so funny. Get it over with? Okay. I think he's not doing it because he's dragged this out so long that if he is the father, that's going to be very hard hit on his image. Ay. Take the test. That's right, Jazzy Jazz. El que nada debe, nada teme. That's right. If you're not worried about anything, then you don't owe anything, right? Take the test. I don't know. You said the only reason he wouldn't do it is because he knows he's the father. Lord have mercy. Take the test. He won't because he knows the boy is his. I am Sam says. I'm like, what's the holdup? Just take it. Hell, just do it. I don't know. He doesn't even have to be present. I mean, he could just have his DNA taken, and that's it. I think it would open the door to this, whether he's been with minors. It would open the Pandora's box to many things. But if he hasn't, I feel like Jay-Z, whether depending on where you stand about the whole Jane Doe situation, the 13-year-old who came forward, Who said Jane Doe? Jay-Z had art her, lawsuit filed by Busby, that whole little debacle situation. I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know. It could very well be not true. But this guy does look like him. And I think it's fair to say. It's fair to say. Maybe it's on purpose for a while to play this way to keep him in the limelight a bit longer. Whew. Maybe. Hi, Sublime. Okay, so that's it. That's where we're at. I'm wondering. Jay-Z's like, it's harassment. Well, it won't be if you just take the test. Call it a day, take the test. Clearly, you knew his mom. Clearly, there's pictures of them together. There's enough, probable thought, at least behind the idea that there could be something here. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay. All right, let's get it together, guys. Let's get it together. Now, I saw somebody in the comments, and I want to highlight a comment, but their comment is probably long and gone. We're going to start with TikTok because we got to talk a little bit. So, yesterday I did a short video because Mr. President basically said that it's all fake news, fake files. It was the left who are behind the Epstein files. So he lost me on that one. He really did. But let me see. There was a comment here that I wanted to see because I'm going to challenge you a little bit, my love. And I have to ask you a question, but I don't see it anymore. Where did that comment go? I'm going through these comments real quick. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. There's no MAGA versus Trump. We're not turning our backs. That's liberal propaganda. Well, I have some supporters in my chat that have been supporting for a long, long time, right? That they are actually MAGA supporters. I may not agree with the things that they say because I don't. I don't. But I have had those same supporters come into my comments and say, I'm really upset with MAGA. I'm not even MAGA. I'm really upset with Trump. And I am MAGA. I'm done with it. I'm really upset with this administration and I'm done with it. So those supporters that have been my supporters for many years, those aren't fake news to me. And I don't consider them to be suddenly liberals either. I think that they're very well, conservatives and they stand on their things and they're allowed to change their mind. Guess what? We're all allowed to change our mind. I'm the type of person that I go between one side to the next. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I get where they're coming from here. And then I get where they're coming from here. And so then I find myself to be in the middle. I'm never just one side. Never. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Never. Because none of it appeases me. I don't think it's cute or anything like that. So to say that this is a liberal agenda would be to really push a narrative and your own agenda to other folks that have a voice and are independently thinking. I'm just not buying it. And I'm here for it. And I'm here for it. So let's go into this statement before we really get into all this other stuff, okay? But you are entitled to your opinion about that. Fail pessimist, thank you so much for this $13.99. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. Trump writes, what's going on? And by the way, I'm doing this in my mind. I can't do a Trump voice, but I'm doing this in my mind. I could hear his voice through this tweet because this is so verbatim to what he would say to people. What's going on with my boys and in some cases my gals. Now I already take issue with that statement in the first sentence. In some cases my gal, you have women in that administration and my gals. It's okay to say and my gals. They're all going after Attorney General Pat Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We are a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. Well, for years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and the criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligent agents, the laptop from hell, and more? My friends, you know he didn't listen to his advisors on this one. Literally. So now, why are we giving publicity to the files written by Obama? So Obama wrote the files. So the files that were sitting or not sitting on Pam's desk, the files where the MAGA influencers came out in the little binders and were like, oh, yes. And they were just going up there, like just so proudful in their little trapper keepers like this. That's fake too. That those files were written by Obama. They were written by Obama, y'all. Those files were written by Obama. That was a new one. He could have said anything but that. And that's when I realized, and that's when a lot of people realize, y'all have been conned. Guys, Obama wrote the files. Hillary wrote the files. So now the files are fake news. The files that he talked about, the files that everybody talked about. You know what bothers me about this presidency? You know what bothers me? What the track record has been so far as accountability and transparency? They always pass the buck to somebody else, and it's usually the administration before them, right? It's this fault, that person. This it is never the fact that these files have been sitting there. Yes, they should have been released before. I'll give you that. The Biden administration should have they should have done that. Should have done that. Should have been released before. Period. But this guy, when he was in office, Epstein was arrested under his watch. Convicted under his watch. Excuse me, not convicted, excuse me. Arrested. Detained under his watch. And died under his watch. Now he's back and he made this promise. And now it's fake news. So anybody that's like, it's all fake news. I guess I what? So please don't say that it's, the MAGA versus Trump is liberal propaganda, my friends. Some of us aren't liberals either. But we can read the room. We understand that there's something deeper going on. Tell me you're not in these files, or your associates are not in these files without you telling me that they're not, based on this response alone. You can't keep blaming other people for shit that you're supposed to do in your administration or didn't get to do. Remember, all throughout the beginning of the year, it was DEI. DEI cost the airplane helicopter, the crashes. Don't forget those airplane crashes. DEI is this incompetent people. Everybody's blaming. We're blaming all kinds of people. But here's the moment where you can stand up and give some transparency and some truth to some people, and you're hiding behind this bullshit about Obama wrote the files. When does it stop? Are we going to keep blaming administrations after administrations for the things that they didn't do? Or when are you going to do something about it? Why don't you do something? It's crazy. Anyways, so he talks, it's all about him. This man's ego is like, I can't believe it. Nothing. He says that this country is the hottest country. I'm sorry. Like, I haven't heard anybody say that. I've heard a lot of people being upset with the US. I've heard a lot of people being upset with us for a lot of different things. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy, but hey. So, and then he further goes. Okay. Hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry, the sitter is here. The sitter's here. Oh my god, you said the hot orange balloon. You said the world, the whole world, happy ever after being turned into once upon a time. That's it. Okay, let's keep going with this. Sorry, I had to stop because the sitter's here and I had to give the sitter to baby bunny. All right, let's keep going with this little pause. Okay, so he says, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama? So Obama wrote the files. So if they're written by Obama, just keep this in mind. Why the hell is Maxwell behind bars right now? Okay. Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and the criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files. Just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends, he's mad. He's mad at the girls. He's like, he's mad at the people sitting at the table. He's mad, okay? Now my so-called friends, this is giving High School Musical, uh, are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left's lunatics release the Epstein files? And that's a legitimate question. These files should have been released a long time ago. They should have been released before. I agree. Now, there was a release of some files, but not everything. Not everything was released. Now, was it not released? And I think about this. I'm like, well, maybe because they thought that they were going to go through some level of federal prosecution or something to that effect, that they were actually going to go forward through maybe the court system. And they were like, let's not release all this because we got these people, we're going to go after them. For a minute, I'm thinking that that's what it is. Or did they always intend to release them, but they just didn't have the time to? I'm so confused by this. But I agree, guys. Listen, I am totally not for. I'm not for either party. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. So both parties can get it. Let's just be very real, okay? That's just how open I am. Both parties. None of these people have done a good job in various areas. Okay, that's what I got to say about that. Both parties can get it. Okay. So when they say this, I agree. I wonder, well, why didn't they? They didn't prosecute any other people in the Biden administration. Why not release it then? So if any of this makes sense to me, I agree with this. Says, why didn't they move forward with these? If there was anything in there that could hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? So why don't you release it, Trump? If there's nothing in there that hurts you, why not release it? He says it right here. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Then why not release it? I don't care if Obama wrote the files, if I'm going to entertain that delusion, okay? I don't care if Hillary wrote the files. Release whatever the hell you have. So what you're saying to me is that Obama and Epstein are friends and somehow he wrote the files. Okay, I'm nosy. I want to know. Release it right now today. What's the big issue? What's the deal? Shouldn't be a big deal, right? It further goes. They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King files, no matter how much success we've had, such as, of course, securing the borders, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. No. No, I'm glad that people are speaking up. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in 100 years. Really? Okay. And we have so much more to do. We're saving our country, making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and the arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. So now the documents are radical left. Okay. The same documents that they talked about releasing, being transparent. Yeah. Let Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. Nobody's talking about 2020 election. Nobody. Nobody's talking about that. And they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein. Somebody that nobody cares about. Bitch, read the room. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh my God. Shout out to Cinema Shogun. Okay, Nate the lawyer. If the Epstein documents were written by Democrats to hurt Trump, then why would Trump stage a big binder handout event? You don't spotlight documents you think are fake and damaging unless you're trying to get ahead of something. This wasn't about transparency. It was about controlling the narrative before the bomb drops. Talk about staging. You all influencers have been had, my friends. You guys have been had. I'm telling you, I love Nate the lawyers like everything. Oh, by the way, side note, the FBI is really worried about video games. So outside of this, look, they don't care about the 1,000 victims, all right, and those people, everything behind Jeffrey Epstein, but they want to make sure that they're going to go after the video game marketing. The FBI is going after video games, all right. There's been 3.2 million illicit downloads. So FBI is about to go after websites with video games. Let's talk about the hat burning. There's been bra burnings. There's been all kinds of book burnings. And now listen, this is historic. We got hat burning, my friend. Hat burning. Let's go. Ooh. Lord have mercy. Wow. Just burned my MAGA hat. Why the fuck would you do that? Would you go to that island? Oh, Candace Owens. By the way, you guys know I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. Sometimes she makes a little sense to me. She's one of those people that kind of like one day she's this, one day she's this. She's pushing a certain agenda and then she's like, never mind, I'm not going to go for that agenda anymore, right? It's weird how she moves. These demands for Pat Bondi to resign are fake and orchestrated. Okay. If she resigns, so what? They will replace her with someone equally as committed to protecting Israel before Epstein. All this is just about creating public illusion that justice was served. All this noise was. Let me say something. I said, why are people coming after Bondi? Bondi's just doing her job. Why would you want her to resign? Think about it. Why do you want this woman to resign when clearly she's following the steps of what her boss told her to do? Bondi's not the problem, guys. So I kind of agree with this. Bondi's not the problem here. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's just not. She's doing her job. She's doing her job. So I agree with this. Nate the lawyer says we have to move on from Epstein list. It's old stuff. Also, Trump brings up Russiagate, the Steele dossier, and Hunter's laptop. all old stuff. He should take this down. It makes him look really guilty. Yeah, so Epstein is old, but all this other stuff is not old. Okay, cool, 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 cool. The people stop talking about Epstein. This was a Twitter account. And people are like, no, we're not. No, we're not. You're still talking about the creep. Look at this. Somebody said, and I thought this was a good point. Why hasn't Trump? I'm sure he can. He could probably sue OAC because you know how she said, which is not that I agree with what she said, but he could sue OAC, right? Excuse me, AOC, not OAC. AOC could sue her for saying the stuff that she said, right, about Trump. Here is a good point. Why doesn't he go sue Elon? Hmm? It's too much. People keep saying there's a statute of limitations when defending Epstein and his pals. Well, here's what the federal law says. S trafficking of minor, no limits. Child SA, no limits. Child prawn crimes, no limits. If the victim's a child, the clock never runs out. You have 1,000 victims. The clock doesn't run out. So, are we just supposed to forget? I guess so, right? Adrian, thank you so much for renewing your membership, love. Shout out to you, Adrian. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How convenient the files don't exist all of a sudden. You said the script is poorly written and the acting sucks. I want a refund. Shout out to David. Okay, I need you guys to do me a favor and hit the like button. Please and thank you. Because this is the kind of stuff that the algorithm likes to suppress. They do. They don't like people talking about this stuff. So I definitely need a lot of people to hit the like button and share out and support. Please and thank you. I'm just saying. Look at everybody going off. Okay. Let's talk about Twitterland now. Twitter had a lot of Trump supporters. Oh yes. You know how the year started? Twitter was gone. Like Twitter was like gone, 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 right? So you got like Twitter, especially with the MAGA supporters, really going off. This is not a script, my friends. This is not fake news. None of this is fake. But before we go there, y'all, I gotta show you this right here, y'all.
Trump will be removed from office in August 2025, and The Simpsons already showed it.
Simpson.
In a forgotten episode, they depicted a chilling moment. Trump being escorted out of the White House by security while America erupts, burning flags, street riots, and a cryptic message smeared on a wall. The episode shows him reacting recklessly to global tension, pushing the U.S. into an unnecessary war without Congress.
Now, hold up. Listen. I everybody talks about the Simpsons predictions. I'm like, are we about to see one? Are we about to see one? We shall see.
Bring national collapse. Eventually, a dramatic vote leads to his impeachment, and power slips from his hands on live TV. At first, it seemed like a random cartoon twist, but now, with real-world events matching frame by frame, people are wondering if it was another terrifying Simpsons prophecy. Hidden in that episode is a symbol no one is talking about, a clue pointing to the real forces behind his downfall. If you want to know what the Simpsons really predicted, comment, show me, and get ready for part 2. The truth is deeper than you think, but there's one thing the Simpsons show that no one is talking about. If you caught it, drop a comment below.
Ooh-wee.
Trump will be removed.
I guess we'll see, man. Listen, people. Okay, and this is a message to Candace Owens.
Yeah, bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head.
Hold up. I gotta pause it. Candace Owens says she's embarrassed she backed Trump too late for a rebrand. That return policy expired. Black card decline. Oh my God.
Yeah, bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous.
Oh my God. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Lord have mercy. Hold up. Okay. Let's talk about this
What were you
one.
saying before, honey?
So the Attorney General is now saying there is no list.
What list? What are you talking
The Epstein list. There is no such list. It doesn't exist.
about? There was a judge that said that a judge released a list. So what list did he do? There's a list. Because there was a plane. When people get on the plane, they make a list of who's on the plane. Because the plane goes up and goes down really fast. They know who was on the plane. They know you're on the plane. You're on the list. The list exists.
So, but the flight logs have been released, right? And I mean, I guess I'll say it. Donald Trump has been on the flight logs. Not only that, we've seen him in videos and photos. There's been so much evidence. And now all of a sudden, there are Trump supporters now coming out saying, if they don't release that list, then that's it. It's over.
That's what's going to do it? Okay. All right. So we're deporting people by like the thousands, whether they're like, oh, look, it's a Marine's wife who's breastfeeding. Let's grab her. She looks like a threat. And they're like, oh, an 80-year-old guy dying of cancer. He's like stage 4. Get him before he does something bad. And like,
Yeah, you can deport a breastfeeding mother who's a threat, but you can't release the names of the people involved and all these victims. What kind of backwards ish is this?
it's like a 6-year-old kid, it's like, grab that kid. He doesn't belong here. Like they took away Medicare, like Medicaid from people who like need it to live.
Yep.
Medicine, people who are probably gonna die without their medicine.
Yep. Insulin costs have gone back up.
SNAP for people who can't afford food. And other people are like, if you're able-bodied and you can go out and work, yeah, they might not be able-minded. And you might not want to make fun of that because the people that are like, so let me get this. There's no list now. A judge said there was a list. There was names on a list that was previously on a list that we saw part of the list. Now there's no list. Are these the same people that are like somewhere in New Mexico? There's chickens shitting out votes for Trump from the 2020 election because he grabbed them and shot them.
Remember that? Remember that shit? That was fucking hysterical.
Oh
Literally.
my God.
There were laser beams being shot up into space, and they were changing the votes from Donald Trump.
But the list. The tea. I think it's all about the tea and the drama.
There's literally somewhere. All right. No, it's funny because it's not funny. Because what you mean to tell me women can't get like life-saving?
He's really having a reaction. So this is her husband. Hubby reacts when I told him how MAGA is jumping ship over Liz. But again, this fake news. It's liberal fake news. Really? Listen, my friends, not everybody drinks from the same Kool-Aid, from the same Jim Jones Kool-Aid that you guys are drinking from. I don't. Not from that side or the other side. No, I don't.
Like operations to keep themselves from dying because their baby's gonna like kill them if they carry their like also you may have to ask your husband permission to like vote in like 4 years, but you're gonna now this is what did it. I need the tea. I need it now. And you're not giving it to me. There's nothing on TV until September. I can't do nothing until then. This is if you don't give me that list, I'm coming after you, Donnie. We're gonna flip it. We're all gonna get a big TV show, and we're gonna say you're fired. And then on top of that, you're sitting there and you're like, I need to know who's on there. I need to know for my own sanity who's on. If Bon Jovi's on there, I'm not buying no more of his CDs. He's done with me. Come on. Like it really matters if Bret Michaels was on there like 1995. You're not sure. You just don't want to see Donnie on there. Who gives a crap? Like, man, this is what did it though. This is what did it. It's just like there's people floating away in floods. There's kids like dying by the bushel and like this did it though. You won't let me know who's on that list. I've been thinking of this since 2020, and you won't let me know. You're a bastard, Donnie. I'm giving up on you. You're still the best president ever. Idiots.
Oh my God.
So
I love his reaction. I love it. Hold up.
How is MAGA responding to Trump saying that the Epstein client list never existed? Well, see for yourself.
I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If this is the verdict, there's no Epstein client list. If we don't get accountability for the thousands of victims that were abused, then
I could do without the music, but okay.
I'm jumping ship. And all of you should as well.
This is all going in the trash. I do not support Trump anymore. He's a liar. He's a part of the deep state. I do not support Israel. I will not be supporting him anymore. He's part of the deep state.
The whole thing that this tape shows he didn't kill himself is like a joke. But worse than that, it's a joke that we all get. Like, they're not fooling anybody. So I feel like we're at a dangerous point now.
So now, by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke.
Oh my
right now.
God.
My mouth is watering right now. Because I have integrity.
So this message goes out to Donald Trump and his people. I've been asked before, what would it take for you to not support Donald Trump anymore? I always said, well, it'd take a lot. I've literally made thousands of videos on this app supporting you, sir. So if you're deciding that Epstein is the bridge that you're going to burn, I got the match, sir. You're telling me there's no list after you told me there was a list. You're telling me that you don't care about these victims. This is a promise you made to the American people, sir.
He did.
Non-negotiable. You've always been in tune with your supporters. Always. 100% spot on. Not this time, sir. You missed this one.
I voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. I am prepared to die on this hill. If Donald Trump is part of the Epstein list, as why he has decided to pretend like doesn't exist anymore, then the war that I've been waging on liberals, I plan to wage on Donald Trump if he cannot explain or make sense of this soon. It's pointing to that he is implicated.
Wow.
So I voted for Trump, and this Epstein thing is just insane. But I think it's showing us one thing, and that's our country is unified for the first time in a long time. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, we all know this administration is guilty. So,
there you go.
How is MAGA responding to Trump saying that the Epstein client?
I will say that it doesn't, what this guy said right here resonates with me right here, this guy.
Epstein thing is just insane. But I think it's showing us one thing, and that's our country is unified for the first time in a long time.
Yep.
And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, we all know this administration is guilty. So
thank you. See, we can disagree with a bunch of things, but for whatever reason, we're coming together and we're saying this shit is off the wall. This does not make sense whatsoever. At all.
We have some big news right now. MAGA Republicans are turning against Donald Trump, and it looks as though MAGA is on the verge of a possible civil war over everything that's happening between the FBI and the Department of Justice and the Epstein files. MAGA is just not satisfied with what the Trump administration is doing and the narrative Donald Trump is pushing himself. You have some of Donald Trump's most loyal people on the internet saying now that he has turned his back on them, on essentially the cause, on MAGA. And it looks like it's only getting worse. He wants to move on, right? He wants to tell the world about Rosie O'Donnell and try to revoke her citizenship. He wants to distract.
That is such a distraction. Like your beef with former celebrities, that is a distraction. Like people, who cares about that she doesn't like you or what she said? Like in that Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump stuff goes back years and years, back when she used to have her talk show. So it's kind of like, why are we even, what is that all about? It's ridiculous. Why is that up in center? I'm going to deport her, revoke her citizenship. Like, that's crazy. What? It's a distraction. Elsa, thank you so much for the $2. I've arrived early to talk about Trump. Lord have mercy. And it's crazy because it's like, completely. So I'm like, he doesn't use his advisors, and advisors aren't really good at that. The fact that we're united over this list, over Pedialites, gives me a teeny glimmer of hope. I agree. What did Kim say? This is the most positive, negative thing ever, engagement ever. Because I'm telling you, I have people that are like from both sides. that support my channel. And people know I'm not for the one side or the other. But if we could come together to a common situation to call something out, I'm here for it. Because it doesn't make sense. And people see we don't want children to get hurt. We don't want, people need to be held accountable. It just feels like this is going to be, are we waiting for the next big multi-millionaire, billionaire financier to be caught up again to figure out then who's connected to that guy in order to determine who's behind that guy and who went to some island? Is that what we're waiting for? We're waiting for more shit. More victims.
Based seemingly from the issues that they care about. And right now, they're very unhappy. And it looks as though it's only going to continue and it's only going to get worse if Trump does not do something fast, whether it's actually firing Pam Bondi, removing.
Which I don't think is the answer, because she's only doing what she's being told to do. And to a certain degree, Candace Owens is right. Not that I agree with that lady. I don't at all. But in that aspect, I do. What does firing that lady going to do? What is it going to do? Nothing. He's just going to hire somebody who's willing to do the job. And it's not like she wants to leave the job. You guys, do you see her? She looks like she's okay in contempt, lying to the American people, just like the other guys that are there. When I heard that, who is it? The FBI guy, Bongino, was about to leave and he's so upset. I said, if that guy leaves, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Like, that might show a little bit of like integrity. Like, he's not going to, allow these people in the administration to gaslight him. But God knows if that's even the case. Honestly, we don't know what to make of this. We all feel this all so deep. We all feel this so deeply. Imagine how all of the victims are feeling about this. So disrespectful. That's what makes me sad about this. I agree. Pause. I agree. And thank you, Pause, for this super sticker. I really appreciate it. Rabbit, you are picking on Blondie so bad it's because she's a woman. Rabbit, they're picking on her. Oh, they're picking on her. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think she's the problem. I'm be honest with you. I don't think she's the problem. Why are we picking on Bondi? I don't think, guys, when an administration is so top heavy, how government works, right? When things are so top heavy, when somebody from the bottom has to tell the person on the top how they're doing things, that's how it works, right? This is a very top heavy administration. That's what it is. And it's full of a lot of ish in there. Okay. And nobody like that's not drinking the Kool-Aid is allowed to say anything different. That's what it is. It's a very top heavy administration, far removed from the people that it works for, which is you and I in the chat. They work for us. They work for us. I keep saying this over and over. They should be providing receipts. There should be a press conference to address this, just like everything else, just like they had with the Texas, situation, the tragedy. When the reporter, somebody came into my chat, and I've said it a couple times, reporter asked the question about these Epstein files. Sure, wrong time to ask. I'll give you that. But you know what? Both situations are horrific, okay? Because you have this situation right here, but you also have historic victims, and God knows how many. Who was the latest victim from the 1,000 people that they said that they had? You have misinformation as well as stuff that's just being given to us that we don't even know how to chew this up. Do people think that we're brand new to the internet? Everybody here on YouTube, as well as other social media sites, has been calling this out, has been digging into this administration, the things that they're saying to figure this out. Because whether it's the Biden administration or this one, we're just not going to let this shit go anymore. They work for us. But I agree, they're picking on her. And I'm like, get it together, people that are calling this shit out, this lady out. No, it's not. She's not the problem. She could be a portion of it, but she's not really the problem. She's only doing what she's being told to do. You don't think they had a meeting? Mr. President, I have the files here, the non-existing files, and your name is here and here. Oh, and there's that donor and that donor. And this donor and this, what are we going to do here? Redact, 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 redact. Okay. But that's the whole document. Well, just tell them that it's the victim's information and we have to redact everything. But what about the people that, fueled the plane? What about those hotel chains? Mind you, his hotel chain has been mentioned by various victims already. What about this person? What about this prime minister or this prince or that president or this? They're on this list. What do we do? Redact, redact. You know what? Tell them that it's fake news. Tell them that Obama wrote it. That's the meeting between Pam and Trump in that little Oval Office, whatever, sitting down, chewing it up. You can't release this shit because my fingerprints are all over in it, and so is all my cohorts. We just can't do it. You can't do it. So tell them it's fake news. She's not the problem, y'all. Wake up. You know what is so sad to me, honestly, is that they're making her the problem, which I'm not a fan of her. Don't get me wrong. But isn't that what we're saying about Epstein and Maxwell? A woman is sitting behind bars and we don't even know if she's, what does she do again? She orchestrated this whole thing by herself with Epstein. What is she sitting behind bars for? We can't just let it stop right there. There's people behind that. There's people behind that. They're all the problem. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not buying it. And you shouldn't either. Don't like for them to say, well, let's fire her. No, this is a bigger issue, y'all. This is a bigger issue.
Breaking news, there's a MAGA civil war raging right now as Trump supporters across America are pissed at Trump after he put out a statement on Truth Social, basically calling the Epstein files a Democrat hoax and also saying that we just need to stop giving Jeffrey Epstein any of our attention. Here's a screenshot of a part of Trump's statement. He starts off by saying that the Epstein
internet
files
reacts.
were created by Obama, Clinton, and the criminals of the Biden-Harris administration. And he also says that they created these files just like they created some other fake documents that they've used against him in the past. And then at the end of his statement, he says that we should stop wasting our time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, basically telling people to stop talking about it. And when I said that this has MAGA pissed, I wasn't kidding. Truth Social is his app for him and his followers. There's not a large liberal movement over there. Let's go ahead and read some of the replies from this post. L. Milford says in response to Trump's post, "You are losing many in your base. Sir, you need to listen to us." Tyler says, "Mr. President, you did make the promise, just saying." And Lighthouse says, "Sorry, this just isn't holding water." AJ says, "Read the room. You need to deliver on this or be fired." And Mr. Grumpy Deplorable says he's not buying it. Anyways, that's all for now. This is definitely an interesting development. I'll make sure
A lot of young people are reacting, and I'm here for it. I'm glad because that's who they're trying to appease, the administration. They're trying to target a specific audience. The younger generations, right? Not us millennials, but the ones following. They're trying to appease them and they're not having it. They're kind of seeing what's going on. So here we go, guys. The hat burning. Women for Trump too?
We're off.
Hold up. Listen, I just hate the sad music. Give me some revolution music, girl. Like, give me something. Not the sad, like I'm here for the revolution, the knuck if you buck type of music, like we're gonna fight type of music. I am so here for it. And they got these piano music going on. I want some knuck if you buck at this point. That's kind of where I'm at. Wow. Hours ago, she burned her hat. Lord have mercy. The sad music is too much for me. I just can't. Look at this.
We're not going to play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off. America First hats are on.
Oh, you don't hear any sound? You guys, let me know if you hear the sound because I hear piano music. If you don't hear the sound, let me know. Yeah. shit. Look at this.
Burn,
This
baby,
is
burn.
crazy.
Well, this is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
Wow. Look at this. Literally, I didn't get a hat, so that's that.
Watch this Trump supporter burn his MAGA hats after Donald Trump told his supporters to basically get over the Epstein files. Just take a look.
We're not going to play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off.
Everybody's reacting to it.
We're all familiar with this schmatzi, right? This white supremacist. Well, you see that little flag behind him? Watch him crash out over Donald Trump.
I just see these people, and for somebody that's been doing it for not even as long as him, but I've been doing this for 8 years since the first Trump administration started. I've seen it for so long, and Trump's just not getting it right. And I just shake my head. I see these people. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our voice heard. We're going to tell them we really don't want an amnesty. And I just shake my head. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm not doing it. I won't do it. And I think the only solution is this.
Really?
We need to burn our MAGA hats. I think that's a solution. That's the only language Trump will understand. He needs to be abandoned at this point. You bombed Iran. You're talking about an amnesty for illegals. When people say, well, maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. It doesn't. You shouldn't be talking about an amnesty. You said mass deportations. Now you're talking about we're going to let these illegals stay in our country and take our jobs. What was the point of any of it? And then before we can even digest that crap, now he's going to tell us there's no Epstein black book. There's no client list. The message needs to be this. We're done. We don't understand. The radical right is fucking furious. We are done. Forget the midterms. Forget 28. Fuck you. Fuck Vance. The GOP, all of it. We're not getting anything. The corporations got their tax cut. Israel got their bombing campaigns. We're building military bases for them right now. Really? And what do we get?
Remember when people were making fun of the a lot of people that were crying online when the election happened, like people were having meltdowns? This would be the equivalent of that. Like people are having meltdowns, and I'm like, bitch, it goes both ways. You can cry online and other people can cry online. It goes both ways, right? Everybody's having a meltdown online. This one is it. This would be the equivalent of a meltdown online.
Illegal immigrants get to keep the jobs they took. We get another war, and we get a brazen lie about how our government is controlled by a blackmail ring from a foreign intelligence agency.
Ooh.
So I'm burning my MAGA hat. I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm burning my MAGA hat. I think other people should too. I'm going to post a video later tonight and just set this thing on fire.
You know what really tickles my nipples is the fact that they're mad that this list wasn't released. That was the thing that got you to turn? Not human rights being violated, huh? LGBTQIA plus rights violated.
Thank you.
Women losing their rights to their bodily autonomy removed. That didn't bother you? Not human beings, in most cases American citizens, being removed from their families and shit. That didn't do it for you? But the list did it, right? Because all of y'all know that this list is filled with Republicans. Y'all say Democrats are only on that list, and if they are, send them to fucking jail. Y'all are afraid to see how many Republicans.
Thank you. And if they are, send them to jail. I don't care if it was a Republican or a Democrat or a liberal. Send them all to jail. Send them all of them.
Are on that shit, and it's loaded with them. This is why right-wing mentality, right-wing fundamentals never work, never going to work, never have worked. We are in the position all over the planet because of right-wingers. Remember that. Right-wingers are the reason that we are stagnant where the fuck we are, especially here in the United States. We're all familiar with this schmatz.
Oh man. What do y'all think about that commentator? Say, why are you burning your hat?
This video is not for anybody who is against Donald Trump. This is for MAGA supporters only, okay? And so if you are for removing this regime, this administration, any of that language, this is not for you. So you can scroll on by. This is for MAGA, okay? This is for MAGA. Recently, I've been scrolling for a while, and I've come across videos of individuals on multiple platforms burning their MAGA hats.
Okay.
Okay? They're burning their MAGA hats. And most of this is due to the Epstein files. Everyone are disheartened because this morality and this distrust that stems from the Epstein files have really created a rift between their belief system and their support for Donald Trump and this administration. So they're burning their MAGA hats.
Okay.
They're saying that they're no longer supporting MAGA, and the ashes from the hats, they're saying, hey, this is what's left of MAGA. It's the representation. So my question for you, if you've done that, I would love to hear why you did it in the comments. Was it the Epstein files? And if you haven't, I would love to know why you are still supporting this individual and this administration. Um, just in half a year, we've seen, oh my goodness, let's stay on subject. So the MAGA hats. If you're burning your MAGA hats, let me know. Let me know why. If you're on TikTok burning your MAGA hats, if you're on Instagram burning your MAGA hats, if you're on X burning your MAGA hats, if you're
I wonder how many people are burning. Let's see. ACB. It's just another stunt. This is what the other person said. By the radical left burning just bought hats. So you think it's fake news? Do you think that you think Obama wrote the Epstein files too? Or just the hats? Like that's fake news. People believe that the hat burning is fake news. Do you believe that I'm wondering. What are your thoughts? ACB. Do you believe that Obama wrote those Epstein files? Just wondering. Ram, thank you so much for the $4.99. I'm a long-time Trump supporter, even though my parents are U.S. citizens born in Mexico. He better release esa lista. Thank you, Ram. Do you see what I'm saying, y'all? I have both. I have people that support Trump, and then I have people that don't. And people, I respect both. Whatever y'all support, I respect. But let me tell you, this is something that people do come and agree that, listen, you're saying that you're doing all of this, but this list you're not releasing? Why? I'm glad people are not going to allow themselves to be gaslit. Ram, thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate it. Yeah. So people are saying that this might be fake news. I don't think it's fake news. They just so they just bought the hats to I guess burn the hats. Is that what we're saying? I don't know, man. We just saw this one too.
MAGA hats
People are burning hats, so I guess it's not. It must be fake news. Oh, okay then. It's all fake news. You said I have to respect the Republicans standing up. Yes, I do. I do as well. I do. The irony, so many people in the beginning didn't like people who didn't support DT, yet those of us who didn't vote for him didn't cast stones for real, for real. Yeah. There's that. Adrian's like, let me burn your MAGA hat for you. No, because then they're gonna say it's fake. It's fake news. That's what they're gonna say. Oh my God, you guys. I just can't believe people are like, is it really fake news? Oh, I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? And there's a lot of deflection that's happening. I will say that it seems like people are like, people are struggling with this news. Okay, they are. And they're going to be. And this is not going to be done. It's not going to be let go. If he thinks that just giving the statement that he gave was enough, no way. No way. It's a lot of deflection that is happening. And a lot of people aren't buying it. Hell, here we go.
And then let me see if I can get
former Epstein lawyer speaks out. Okay, let's go. I'm glad he's speaking out.
Okay, perfect. All right. So first, what were your thoughts when you first read the memo where it said no client list of Jeffrey Epstein's exists?
It's true. There is no client list of Jeffrey Epstein's, and the Department of Justice is not suppressing anything. And I never said they were. There are 2 judges who are suppressing very relevant information, including the names of people who have been accused, and also information about the accusers. And the judges are doing it to protect selectively certain people. And the Justice Department is not at fault here. They have disclosed, as far as I know, everything they have. I, from day one, called for everything to be disclosed, but a couple of judges have refused to do it. Let me tell you what I've seen, so we'll be very clear.
Yeah, I heard this guy's a sleazeball too, but I'm here to hear what he has to say. At this point, it's like if we can't get a story straight, we're going to have to find out what the story is.
I have seen a redacted FBI report, which includes the names of people accused and also accusers. I've seen that. Now, that's redacted. The names have been taken out. We have asked judges to unredact it. They have refused to because they want to protect the people whose names are in there. The public has the right to know those names. So there's no client list. That's a creation of the media. There is a redacted FBI report and other documentation, some of which involves people who are accused, some of which involves people who are accusers. And I've called for both of them to be made public.
Now, you said that you know some of the names of the people accused. Should those names be released? Does the public have a right to know at this point?
Sure, as long as also the names and information about the accusers is released. So everything should be known. What shouldn't be done is we shouldn't have a situation where the accusers are held confidential and the accused names are released. And the information that would prove, for example, that some of the accusations may be false, that shouldn't be withheld. As long as everything is turned out, we have transparency. And then people who are accused, as I was, have the right to defend themselves by showing documentary evidence. And so
release the people that are accused, and people should have the right to defend themselves. I'm here for it. Even if they're supporters of the current administration. Because not doing that, we're not asking, guys, this is like the gaslighting part. I have yet to hear a commentator say, we want to see all the child prawn. No, that's not what we're wanting. Or the child abuse material. That's not what we want. We want names of the people that assisted in the abuse of this situation. We should know. And if they're supporters of this administration, they have the right to defend themselves. Hell, take them to court, figure this out. Okay, we should be able to know this. And it doesn't escape me. Was it that the FBI stopped investigating Prince Andrew? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's the way it should be. Everything should be out there. And from day one, I have said I want everything out there, every videotape, every FBI report, every interview note, everything should be out there. Right now, we have selective disclosure. It's not the fault of the Justice Department. It's the fault of 2 judges.
And you know who those 2 judges are?
I do.
Can you tell me where they are?
They are in federal court in New York.
Okay. Is there anything else regarding the memo, the July memo, that you think might not be completely accurate? I mean, I think nobody probably knows more about this, the ins and outs of this situation probably than you. So is there anything else regarding specifically that, no documents or no list or nothing was used as blackmail by Jeffrey Epstein? Do you agree with that?
I don't know whether he used anything to blackmail anybody. I know that he did tell me on at least one occasion that I didn't have to worry about a certain person, Leslie Wexner, who might have testified against him because he had a lot of stuff on Leslie Wexner. That was one instance where you might call it blackmail. I know of no other instances of blackmail, but that was one where Jeffrey Epstein himself told me that he didn't have to worry about that particular person because he had a lot of information about him. He may have had that on other people as well too. I just don't know.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in that prison cell?
I think it's likely. I don't believe Epstein would have ever wanted to spend his life, which was a life lived in luxurious palaces and airplanes, in a rat-infested cell. The thing that makes me a little suspicious is
Hold up.
that he had a very strong bail motion.
Sorry, guys. And I had this on my headphones. I had to get something to drink. He said Leslie Wexner. So the modeling guy, right? The guy over Victoria's Secret, right? We just talked about him yesterday. Hold up.
For instances of blackmail, but that was one where Jeffrey Epstein himself.
I have to go back a little bit so I understand what he just said.
No list or nothing was used as blackmail by Jeffrey Epstein. Do you agree with that?
I don't know whether he used anything to blackmail anybody. I know that he did tell me on at least one occasion that I didn't have to worry about a certain person, Leslie Wexner.
I didn't have to worry about a certain person, Leslie Wexner. Keep in mind his connection with Mike Jeffries too, the Abercrombie and Fitch guy who's facing a whole RICO. Okay, keep that in mind. We got to keep the same energy with these folks, right? We just got done with the Diddy trial, y'all. Here are some of your actual, alleged people out there. This Mike Jeffries guy who has dementia or Alzheimer's, something to that effect, who can't stand, who's incompetent. He had a lot of connections with Leslie Wexner. Wexner tried to fight it back and say, no, we stopped making business with him. I'm not believing that. Wexner was connected to Epstein. There you go. Maria Farmer called Leslie Wexner, which is one of the Epstein accusers, Leslie Wexner, the head of the snake. This is, sorry, y'all. I had to go back. I was like, did I really hear this? I had to get something. Wow.
Who might have testified against him because he had a lot of stuff on Leslie Wexner. That was one instance where you might call it blackmail. I know of no other instances of blackmail, but that was one where Jeffrey Epstein himself told me that he didn't have to worry about that particular person because he had a lot of information about him.
He didn't have to worry about that particular person because he had a lot of information about him. What the hell does that even mean? You don't have to worry about him? Like, meaning he's not going to say anything because I got some information on him? Interesting.
He may have had that on other people as well, too. I just don't know.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in that prison cell?
I think it's likely. I don't believe Epstein would have ever wanted to spend his life, which was a life lived in luxurious palaces and airplanes, in a rat-infested cell. The thing that makes me a little suspicious is that he had a very strong bail motion that was pending in a week after he committed suicide. And I would have thought that he would at least await the outcome of that bail motion. But, I just don't know what went into his mind. I know one thing. If he did commit suicide, he did it with the help of prison authorities. He couldn't have done it by himself. There are too many things that happened. Too many cameras got turned off. His cellmate was eliminated from the prison. The guards fell asleep. There are too many acts that would appear that they can't be coincidental. So my best guess, I didn't know Epstein at that point. I hadn't had a relationship with him for years, but my best guess is that he did commit suicide. He tried earlier, failed. Then he did commit suicide, but paid off some people from the prison to make sure that he could accomplish what he set out to do. That's my belief.
Do you believe the Trump administration is being fully transparent with what they've disclosed so far? Or do you think they're withholding any sort of documents or information regarding this case?
No, they've been absolutely transparent. They have nothing to hide. Everything about Trump himself has been previously disclosed. I think the people who are failing to disclose information are federal judges. And
so the federal judges are the ones that are wanting to protect this whole situation. Okay, so if the Trump administration is able to release the information and he's able, why doesn't he do it?
And perhaps others, maybe some others as well. But I don't see any blame that can be placed on the Justice Department. It's so easy for the media to point fingers and say Justice Department's at fault. There's a client list. It's being suppressed. That all overstates it. It's much more complicated and nuanced than that. There is information being withheld. It's being withheld by judges. I'd like to see all that information disclosed, full and complete transparency, both about people who are accused, but also about the accusers as well, so that the public and the court of public opinion can make a fair assessment, as they have in my case.
But some of those accusers are children, right? Or were children at that time.
As to whether or not the accusations were accurate. Remember, too, that not all accusations prove to be accurate. And we do have a presumption of innocence, and we ought to live by that presumption of innocence. And that means full and complete transparency.
How do we get a hold of that information that's being withheld right now from those judges?
I think the media has to go to the judges and make applications. And I think they would be granted, if not by the judges, by the appellate courts. I don't see why the media hasn't been more active in trying to get the judges to disclose all the information that is now under seal or under redaction. But again, don't blame the Justice Department. I think that they've disclosed everything that they have, but they don't have everything. When a judge seals material, it seals it from the government as well as from the private litigants and the private lawyers like me.
So why not blame the Justice Department? I'm so confused by this, but okay.
Do you have the names of those judges?
I'm not comfortable about disclosing, but I think you can look them up and you'll find out who the judges are, who had the cases that involved this, and you can read their motions and you'll see their motions and their decisions say, we're not disclosing this, we're not disclosing that. And the media ought to be more aggressive in going after those failures to disclose because that's where the responsibility lies.
And so again, as far as you know, Jeffrey Epstein never kept a client list.
I know that he never kept a client list. If he had, I'm pretty confident he would have told me about it. And after all, I was one of his lawyers. I wasn't his lawyer at the time of the allegations about the client list, but I think I would have known. And I don't know about videotapes. I was hoping there were videotapes. That would be the best exculpatory evidence for me if there were videotapes of people, and I was not included among them. But, there was an FBI list of people who were accused, and I was not on that list. And there were others who were on the list. And I see no reason at this point in time for there to be selective.
So there is a list. I'm so confused. Like Alan Dershowitz. Okay.
Censorship. There ought to be full and complete disclosure. But what I would be opposed to is disclosing just the names and information about those who are accused without equally exposing information and the names of those who made the accusations so that the public can assess whether the accusations are true or false. That's the American way.
Pam Bondi, specifically Attorney General, and even President Trump himself, they're getting a lot of criticism right now for how they've handled this whole case. Is any of that criticism fair in your view?
No, I don't think so. I think that Pam Bondi had a lot of information on her desk, and after it was assessed and evaluated, she turned out everything that she could, and it turned out there wasn't as much there as the media hoped for. So, no, I don't think that Pam Bondi or the president can be criticized for this. I do think that some of the judges can be criticized for this.
Okay. All right.
Anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
I think I've said what I need to say. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Wow. Okay. I call bullshit. That's just, it is infuriating what he's saying. It just doesn't make sense. There's not a list. It's several lists, right? It's like, well, it's not that, but we can't blame this person or that person. They've been as clear as possible. Really? They have? Okay. So just release whatever a list, a sticky note, a notebook. I don't know. Whatever it else they have, they just release it. Stop making this bigger. Like, just do it. Do it. And then if there's 1,000 victims, how do you say that there isn't a list or there isn't anything or there's nobody to hold people accountable for? It doesn't make sense at all.
States is trying to cover the Epstein story. It's the double down right here on Truth Social. a big post saying that actually it's the Democrats who wrote the Epstein files.
Oh,
this is
Lord.
just after Elon Musk, who worked with Trump for many months, said that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Obviously, we've already seen deflections from the president about Epstein, saying that it's a disgrace to talk about him.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? It just seems like a desecration.
But today it goes a step further. Quick context. There's been a lot of infighting in the Republican Party over basically who's at fault for the giant botch of the Epstein files, with the majority of Republicans not wanting to believe that Trump himself was against a full release, but rather that he was sort of tricked into not releasing the Epstein files by one of his lackeys. But today, Donald Trump came out and basically backed Pam Bondi, saying they're all going after Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by...
You know what? That sentence right there, all over a guy who never dies. I already see people coming through and saying, well, you know what that means? He's still alive. Shit. He's hanging out with Tupac. I don't know. I don't even think Tupac would have hung out with him. You know how people say, like, there's some people out there that don't believe that he died. There's people out there that don't believe that he's dead. You know? It's crazy.
Democrats who conned the world with the Russia hoax. They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Steele dossier. Now, this is such a smokescreen and a deflection. This is not a left versus right issue. Epstein never has been. It's the people versus the predators, not left versus right. The people versus the pedophiles, the people versus the people on planes. There ain't no left versus right here. In fact, some of the people who want this the most are people on the right, even on Truth Social. Obviously, a hugely Trump-favored place. Everybody is saying, no, this is unacceptable. You have to release the files. Later in the post, Trump also says that these are radical left-inspired documents and to not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. But actually, we all do care about it. You know who doesn't actually want this out? The elites. That's why they've never done it.
Bingo. The elites. Paige, thank you so much for the $4.99. Dan Barr, who have Epstein job and whose son was 45, is it Arbitrary General? Writes a book about a planet with having kids as slaves. Damn. I'll have to note that. Thank you so much, though, for the support. Yes, he did. He had a phone call and he said, I'm just hanging around. Just here hanging around. And then what happens? He's hung.
That's why it was a compelling pitch when Donald Trump hinted to his base that maybe he was going to release the files. Yep. People largely didn't trust the job that Biden had done. That's why it was a compelling story. So the idea now that it was Biden and Obama who invented the Epstein files is absolutely preposterous. They don't want that out either. And maybe that's because, as a producer of 60 Minutes alleged, Ghislaine Maxwell implied that there were tapes on Trump and also tapes on Clinton. You know who else said it? Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, saying Epstein said, what I know about both candidates, the 2016 election would have to be canceled. So this whole idea...
Do you hear that? I believe that.
Idea that this is a left or right thing, it's not. It's the elites. Anybody who was on that plane, anybody who was associated with Epstein, seen with Epstein, even if they did nothing wrong, they don't want that out. Everyone who wasn't seen with Epstein, wasn't on that plane, of course, they all want the files out. And what's interesting is obviously the Trump administration has sort of played footsie with this idea for a long time, playing to their base. They know this is a big issue. They had the influencers stand out there with a bunch of released material. But we also showed clips of Donald Trump implying that maybe Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew were doing bad things on the island.
Bill Clinton. Got a lot
Yes, Dan Barr was the one who gave him his first job. That's correct.
of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island. That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
So consistently, Trump has hinted that maybe these guys were involved with Epstein. Maybe it was bad. But turns out all these guys knew each other and knew Epstein. We know this in part from a Piers Morgan interview where he talks to a lady who went to a dinner party with Trump, Clinton, Epstein, and Prince Andrew.
Extraordinary collection.
This lady Lizard, y'all remember this lady? She's the one that was attacking Virginia Giuffre. That's her. I remember. The lizard face never changes. That's Lady Lizard. If you've been on this channel, you know we refer to her as Lady Lizard because she does the most. Her. She has like main character syndrome of this whole situation. She does. That's her. Lady Lizard.
Very high-powered people. How did they all interact with Epstein? How did Trump, Clinton, and Prince Andrew interact with him?
Everyone was very, very pally with him. You know, it was like there was a close bonds. You could see that.
So these guys knew each other, apparently had dinner parties together, all of them together. Trump later accuses two of the guys of doing bad things. And then when we release the files, can we release the files? Well, no, actually, no, we can't do that. Nobody cares about that. The reason why seems obvious. Epstein knew Prince Andrew. Yes. He knew Bill Clinton. Yes. But he also knew Donald Trump. And recently tapes were released of Epstein talking and calling Donald Trump his closest friend.
So how do you know this?
So it makes intuitive sense to distance yourself from files that may or may not have your name in it, and even distance yourself from the people involved. It's worth stating Trump actually denied knowing Prince Andrew.
I don't know Prince Andrew.
Of course, this was immediately debunked by photos showing the two together. And of course, showing that they clearly knew each other as of 2000. Now, the reason you would deny knowing Prince Andrew, even though you did, is obvious. At the time, he was facing allegations related to Epstein. By the way, allegations that now are basically over. Prince Andrew is very happy about us dropping the Epstein probe. A source for The Sun said he's only been abroad once since the scandal erupted. Prince Andrew has always been very nervous about going abroad and always looking over his shoulder, as he should be, in my opinion. But now he's very happy because the guy who never met him but was photographed with him in 2000 just ended the investigation. Now, I have to say, Trump's been pretty consistent on the fact he has no interest in releasing the Epstein files in full. He said this multiple times. The reason most people have sort of a false memory of this, the reason it's sort of a Mandela effect that he campaigned on the idea of releasing the Epstein files is because Fox News released a deceptively edited clip where they cut out the part where he said, yeah, I'll probably release the Epstein files. And they cut out the part where then he backtracks on that completely.
Would you declassify the Epstein?
Look at this. At least Coffeezilla is calling it out.
Files.
Yeah, I would.
And that's the part most of us saw. Of course, later, people found out that the full clip showed him saying basically the opposite.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you know, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
We also have Bill O'Reilly on News Nation saying he just talked to Trump back on St. Patrick's Day, and Trump basically said the same thing.
He said, and I agree, there are a lot of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's conduct. They maybe had lunch with him or maybe had some correspondence for one thing or another. If that name gets out, those people are destroyed.
So release the names. If there is nothing, did they vacation there? Did they, what was the, just release the fucking names. Like, what's the issue? Release the names.
Because there's not going to be any context. Media doesn't care about context. So you can't do that.
We've been knowing that Trump was chummy with Epstein. A lot of us knew that. People that knew that still voted for him. So what's the big deal?
So over and over, we've seen the same answer from the president. Not the fact that, oh, no, the Epstein files, it's a lefty conspiracy. No, actually, it's the worry that people in the files are going to have their lives destroyed by the files. That sounds a lot more like covering for the people in the files than it does covering the victims. We've heard Kash Patel and Pam Bondi talk.
Exactly. They're protecting the people in the files versus actually protecting the victims and potential victims. We don't know. We don't know if some of these people in the files that were chummy with Epstein, you know, have these Pedialyte tendencies. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're big organizations, corporations behind those names. And here I am shopping at their store or giving money or donating to something. And then come to find out, well, damn, they really use that money to do harm to a child that's in a millennial age range, right? Like, huh?
Talk about, oh, we got to protect the victims.
Go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims.
We're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that back out there.
But when we actually hear the president talk about it, and the real reason, right, because he's ultimately the decision maker on whether this gets released, what the real reason is cited is not about victims. It is about the people, the names in the thing. So I find it disgusting. They're using the victims of Epstein as a shield for the people who are actually in these files. Now, of course, who specifically is he worried about? Well, maybe it's his friends. Maybe it's people he has dinner parties with. And of course, maybe it's him, Donald Trump, that he's worried about. The journalist Michael Wolff actually quotes Steve Bannon as saying Jeffrey Epstein was really feared in 2016 for what he knew.
I was there, and it was that moment. And Bannon said to Epstein, and he said this in a good humor. He said during the campaign, it would be the 2016 campaign, you, meaning Jeffrey Epstein, were the only person I was afraid of.
So that is 3 independent sources. You've got the Ira Rosen quote, the Michael Wolff quote, and that Mark Epstein quote, all saying that there is some type of damaging information on Trump. 2 of those people specifically implying that it's also on Clinton as well. You also have the Elon Musk allegation from left field, but he doesn't source anybody, so we won't count that. Either way, I must say, I don't know for sure if Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Donald Trump were heavily involved in anything nefarious or not. That is exactly why we should all demand that we open these files. But the possibility of both Democrats and Republicans being implicated in some of these files, whether they did it or not, or just knew him, may give a plausible reason for why the Epstein files have been heavily redacted this whole time. There are very powerful people involved. We've known that. The reason we've been given, of course, is that, we've got to protect the victims. The real reason behind the scenes is really they're protecting the powerful people. Now, the most charitable...
I agree with this statement. Oh, so wholeheartedly. I agree with it. It's not about protecting victims. It's never been about that. If that was the case, even from the administration prior, they could have done a better job with it too. They could have released the information, right? They could have released it. And now you got this administration who's trying to gaslight us, talking about they're fake. They're fake.
Interpretation is, as Bill O'Reilly said, it's because those people would have their lives ruined. They had nothing to do with Epstein, but we know some of them probably did. We know this from the Miami Herald because the FBI agents who searched Epstein's house found a cache of thick black binders all labeled with names that contained hundreds of naked or semi-naked photographs on CDs that Epstein stored in various places. The labels on the binders were redacted from photos because prosecutors said they were names of third parties who were not relevant to the case they are mounting against Ghislaine Maxwell. So my question is, are those some of the third parties? Their names are on binders with a bunch of explicit photographs that Epstein was storing? That seems like something we should be investigating. Or what about the fact that since the FBI is saying there's no blackmail involved with Jeffrey Epstein, we investigate the Wall Street Journal report that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly tried to extort Bill Gates over an extramarital affair? Because
there you go. There's so much that could get investigated. Daphne Johnson says, I don't care which political party is involved. Release the files. I am so here for it. I do not care what political party is involved. We don't care. We want names, release the files. I do not care. I don't care. But this has been more so about protecting those people on those lists than the victims. Because they literally just gaslit us. Oh, we can't. It would be too... No. It wasn't Maxwell behind bars. Excuse me. It wasn't Maxwell. She's not the only one. Now she's behind bars, but she's not the only one who did this with Epstein, with 1,000 victims. No way. It's so crazy to me. We're willing when it came to Diddy. Oh my God. The gavel came right at him, and it still does, right? When it comes to situations like that, we're willing to go there. But when it comes to people in such higher elite positions or the elites, We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, right? But Diddy was okay. But Diddy was fine. We went to 2 months of this whole trial situation. Y'all, we went back and forth together, right? Some of you guys were just like over the edge over it. And some of you guys were like, this is, on the other side. Why can't we keep the same energy for this situation? There's something wrong. And we're talking about 1,000 victims, right? Thank you. It's the I do not care club, right? This is so crazy, y'all. It really is.
I thought there was no blackmail involved. And my real plea to people is to not allow comments like this, these statements about partisan politics, to trick you into thinking this is some type of left versus right issue. That is the Trump play right now.
And some of you guys in the comments were putting that. One of you guys were trolling too much and just got blocked. Let me tell you something. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it's the liberals, because I'm not a liberal all the way there. And I'm not a this side all the way there. No. Some of us just want transparency. Some of us want to know whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans or political leaders or prime ministers or religious figures on this list. We want to know who's on the list. We want to know who they are. Some of us don't give a shit about who and what. I'm not letting anybody gaslight me in my chat or anywhere else. I've already seen 2 comments. The hat burning is this. No, I believe that there's a lot of MAGA people out there who are not buying this shit. They're not. They're not.
I don't think it's going to work. I think it's a disaster. I think it's very stupid. I think people on the right are just as interested as people on the left. I think this is a universal issue, as it should be. If there are predators in the highest offices in the land, be they Democrat or Republican, we want to know about it. President of the United States.
We want to know about it. That's it. That's all. We deserve to know the truth. Why can't we? And I honestly think that there's some truth to that Epstein told his brother, hey, in the 2016 election, this would be bad if I release information about both parties. Yeah, I agree. And I guess we're just going to ignore that. We're going to pretend like it didn't happen. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. There's something going on here, guys. And I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Nope, I'm not. Yes, thank you. This right here. Honestly, pinning the left and the right against each other is deflection and helps these elites continue getting away with crimes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm not buying it. Because I have both kinds of supporters in my chat. And let me tell you, they're not buying it either. They're not. They're asking questions, and the right ones. And I'm not buying I'm going to ask for Pam Bondi's resignation from her position. It's not her, you guys. She's not the problem. Well, she's part of the problem, but she's not the main person. There's a reason why she did what she did. She looked it up. She had her meeting with her boss, the president, and all these other people, right? And the president told her, don't release this. There's going to be a lot of people that'll be, impacted by this. Don't release it. And now it's become fake news. Don't buy it. I'm not. No chip inserted here, my friends. No chip inserted here. No numbers here. I'm just letting you know I'm not buying this shit. I'm not. I'm over it. I just think it's bullshit. I think they're just trying to deflect. We just want the truth. That's it. Exactly. People going after her, it's ridiculous. It's no different than Epstein. Maxwell sitting behind bars for what crime exactly at this point? Remind me. I'm not buying it. She didn't do this on her own. She didn't orchestrate. She has reached out to Trump for a pardon, saying that she has information. That lady better be careful, because they're going to Epstein her too. Okay? Just not buying it. Not. I'm not. She could. And a lot of those people could do the right thing by saying, you know what? We quit our positions because the pressure is too much and it's become too much. But I don't think that she's the one at fault for releasing. No, y'all, she works. The boss is the president. She reports to him. Do you think that he doesn't have a hand about what information is going to be released or not? You think he hasn't been briefed? You think that these people are siloed with each other? No. They're butt to gut working together, guys. Don't buy that shit. I'm not. And I'm definitely not buying this. It's the left that wants this. I'm not. No. You guys are having your meltdowns on Twitter and everybody, just like that other side had their meltdowns when the election happened. Some of us are realists to this, and we know what's up. We know what's up. We know what's going on. We read between the lines. Just saying. We'll see what happens. Don't let them gaslight you. That's what I have to say about that. Don't let them. They lie and they're lying and they continue to lie because that's what they do. That's what they do. Look at the tune that they were singing when the elections were happening. A whole different tune. They wanted you to elect them. Transparency, accountability. And then what? We're 6 months in? Okay. Keep that same energy for all these people involved. If you had it for Diddy, you need to keep it for this guy too. You need to keep it for the people that are sitting on that information. Keep that same energy because you can't. Don't be a hypocrite. Anyways, guys, I got to go because I got to go tend to the child and I got to log off a little bit, because you know how I do. You know how I do. You guys are amazing. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button because this is the kind of streams that YouTube likes to suppress. I would like to, at some, we're going to keep going with this. We really are, because I'm not done. I'm really pissed off, actually, by this. And I find this to be very therapeutic to a certain degree to kind of call this out. We're going to keep going. Of course, we're reporting on other things. I was supposed to do a pre-recorded video, but I just got too busy. And some of this stuff just becomes a little overwhelming in my head. So I have to step out every once in a while. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and shout out to everybody that super chatted and shared and liked. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a blessed Sunday. Okay, bye guys.